Have you ever left a conversation feeling like nobody actually heard what you said? Or walked into a room, tried to join a discussion, and felt completely invisible? You spoke. You contributed, you were physically present, yet somehow nobody seemed to acknowledge you. Most people assume this happens because they're not intelligent enough, not charismatic enough, not confident enough. But that's usually not the reason. Because long before you open your mouth, people are already making decisions about you. In fact, research suggests that first impressions begin forming within seconds before you explain your ideas, before you demonstrate your competence. Before you reveal your character, people are reading signals, tiny behavioral signals, and those signals communicate something important. Authority, confidence, status, credibility, or the lack of it. Years spent studying elite performance taught me something surprising. The biggest authority mistakes aren't obvious. Most people don't realize they're making them. They're automatic, unconscious, and because they're unconscious, they quietly destroy respect without you ever noticing. Today we're going to break down 10 behaviors that instantly weaken your presence in public. Not because they're evil, not because they're moral, because they communicate weakness, and people respond to signals whether they're aware of them or not. Let's begin. The first mistake is explaining. Imagine someone questions your decision. What happens next? Most people immediately begin defending themselves. They explain, then explain again, then clarify, then add more context, then justify every detail. The problem isn't the explanation itself. The problem is what it communicates. When you continuously justify yourself, it appears as though you're asking for permission, you're seeking validation, you're trying to convince people that your decision was acceptable. Strong leaders don't do that. They explain once, then they stop, because confidence doesn't require endless defense. If someone challenges your decision, calmly explain your reasoning and let silence do the work. The more desperate you are to convince others, the less convincing you become. Second mistake is reacting to provocations. Someone makes a sarcastic comment. Someone throws a subtle insult. Someone tries to challenge you publicly. Most people immediately react. They defend themselves. They get emotional. They counterattack. And the moment they do, they've lost control. Here's an important principle. Reaction is information. Every emotional reaction reveals vulnerability. It tells people exactly where your emotional buttons are located. And once someone knows where those buttons are, they can press them whenever they want. People who remain composed appear powerful. Not because they're emotionless, because they're disciplined. When someone tries to provoke you, pause. Smile. Continue what you were doing. The person who controls his reaction controls the interaction. The third mistake is trying to be liked by everyone. This one destroys more authority than almost anything else. Many people spend their lives chasing approval. They laugh too hard. They agree too quickly. They apologize constantly. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for asking. Sorry for taking your time. Sorry for existing. Every unnecessary apology sends the same message. Please accept me. Please like me. Please approve of me. But respected people don't beg for acceptance. They don't demand approval. They simply exist comfortably within themselves. People can sense the difference, and confidence is always more attractive than neediness. The fourth mistake is revealing too much information. Is power. Always has been, yet many people share everything with everyone. Their fears, their insecurities, their frustrations, their emotional struggles, their weaknesses. Not because they're honest. Because they lack boundaries. There's a difference. Honesty is strength. Oversharing is exposure. The more people know about your vulnerabilities, the easier it becomes to influence your emotional state. This doesn't mean becoming cold. It means becoming selective. Trust should be earned. Not distributed freely, the strongest. People aren't secretive. They're intentional. The fifth mistake is speaking before. Silence has done its job. Most people are terrified of silence. The moment a conversation pauses, they rush to fill it. They explain more, add details, negotiate against themselves, talk, simply to avoid discomfort. But silence is one of the most powerful tools in human interaction. Silence creates pressure. Silence reveals information. Silence creates weight. Imagine you're negotiating. You make an offer. The other person says nothing. Most people panic. They start lowering their price, adding benefits. Making concessions without realizing it. They've begun negotiating against themselves. Strong communicators understand something different. Silence is not a threat. Silence is leverage. The sixth mistake is displaying emotions at the wrong time. Let's be clear. Emotions are not weakness. Everyone experiences them. The issue is emotional control. If every frustration becomes visible, if every disagreement creates anger. If every challenge produces anxiety, people learn exactly how to control you. Pressure reveals training, not character. Training under pressure. People don't rise to the occasion, they fall to their level of preparation. The person who remains composed under pressure appears trustworthy. The person who becomes emotionally unstable appears unpredictable, and unpredictable people rarely inspire confidence. The seventh mistake is having submissive body language. Before you speak, your body is already speaking. Shoulders collapsed, eyes constantly looking away, nervous movements. Fidgeting. Shrinking. Yourself physically. All of these signals communicate uncertainty. Your body is essentially saying, I don't know if I belong here. Confident people don't dominate rooms. That's a myth. They simply occupy space comfortably. They move slowly. They make deliberate movements. They maintain eye contact. They appear comfortable in their own skin. Presence is often physical. Before it becomes verbal, the eighth mistake is interrupting. Many people mistake interruption for confidence. It's not. It's impatience or anxiety or insecurity. Interrupting communicates. What I have to say matters more than what you're saying. Strong communicators listen. They gather information. They allow people to finish. Because every person reveals useful information. When given enough time, the individual who listens often controls the conversation more effectively than the person doing all the talking. People feel respected when they're heard, and people naturally respect those who make them feel understood. The ninth mistake is being available all the time. Scarcity creates value. This principle applies to products. Opportunities. And people. If you're available instantly, all the time for everyone, your presence loses significance. You're no longer valuable. You're predictable. People with strong boundaries don't appear everywhere. They don't answer everything immediately. They don't constantly seek attention. They choose where their energy goes. And because of that, their presence carries more weight. Respect often grows where boundaries exist. The 10th mistake is poor positioning. Most people underestimate how much physical positioning influences perception. Where you sit, where you stand, how you enter a room, how visible you make yourself. All of these communicate confidence before a single word is spoken. Confident people don't hide in corners. They don't position themselves as spectators. They naturally place themselves where participation is possible, not because they're arrogant, because they assume they belong, and that assumption changes everything. Here's the truth. None of these behaviors require you to become someone else. You don't need to become louder, more aggressive, more dominant. You don't need to pretend to be an alpha. You simply need to become more intentional. Real authority doesn't come from intimidation. It comes from composure. Presence. Control. Clarity. And self-respect. People don't respect those who demand respect. They respect those who demonstrate it through behavior. Every movement. Every reaction. Every decision. Every word communicates something. The question is, what are you communicating? So here's your challenge. Out of these 10 mistakes, which one do you recognize in yourself? Not the one your friends make. Not the one your coworkers make. The one you make because awareness is the first step toward change. And once you begin noticing these behaviors, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Doubt most people spend years trying to become more respected. If you realize they're destroying respect through habits they repeat every day. Fix those habits, and people will begin treating you differently long before you ever say a word.